Chris, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to see differently in the art direction from Judgment as we've seen in Gears 1, 2, and 3.
I think for Judgment, we go back to some of the darker Gears. We worked hard to kind of capture the tone of the original, make it a little more moody, things like that. The players, as they move through the environments, they should see kind of mini stories as they move throughout. Something happened in this environment. We kind of wanted to make it a place rather than just a blank environment that you have a battle in, right? There's handprints on the wall and blood trails that lead somewhere. What is this place? What happened here before you got there? You know, those type of things.
The characters, Baird and Cole, you got to go back and make them younger. What was that process like? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. We iterated on those designs for a while. Some of them came easy, some of them were harder. Baird, of course, was a lieutenant before he got bumped down to private, and it was natural for us to kind of take him and clean him up. We upgraded his armor. He's got officer insignia on his armor and things like that. Cole was the same. We took Cole, we said, what would Cole look like during the thrashball days, right? Because he's younger and it's almost a thrashball. So he's more athletic, he's leaner, his face is younger, he's got more hair, you know, stuff like that. It was kind of fun to evolve those guys. And, you know, we wanted this cool, like, Hulk out kind of Locust. And the Rager was fun. You know, he's like this little wimpy, skinny guy that comes out with a weapon and you kind of fire him. And as he takes damage, he just gets pissed off and he just starts to flush red and spikes come out and he gets nuts. And it was great to develop that character.
And beyond just the artistic stuff, but there's also all the technical aspects of it. The engines change, different animators come in and out. How do you work as an artist with the tech? And does it evolve with the engine?
Right, so it kind of evolves hand in hand. We take a look at what we want to do for the game, and we say, hey, you know, we want a darker, moodier game. What can we do with lighting? What can we do with gloom to give it maybe a more dreamy feel to some aspects of it? We want a lot of fire. How can we enhance flame lighting and flickering lights and things like that? We push the tech to make the art look better. How can we evolve our characters? What can we do to make them look better, make the skins higher resolution, make the shaders better, things like that, that just add to a more robust and immersive experience for the player.
So it's sort of being in charge of the art direction. I feel like it would be difficult because an artist, I'm sure you want to be hands-on with stuff because you know what you have up here, but how hard is it to pass that on to?
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah,
it's super hard. I'm not only, you know, am I high-level art direction now, but it's I'm a control freak to a certain extent, right? I like what I like, and it's frustrating sometimes for the guys, and sometimes I don't know what I want, right? I mean, an art director doesn't necessarily have all the answers. So sometimes, you know, I get a bad rap, I'm sure, and people are like, what are you doing? You don't know what you're doing, and stuff, but it just takes a while to try and you know, craft that stuff and mold it into something, make something from nothing, basically.
You've been here since the beginning of the franchise, so you were the big influence in what these characters, these larger-than-life characters would be. Where did you get that from?
That was, you know, space barbarians, right? It was, you know, the hardcore kind of Conan and things like that. I was really into that stuff. And it just kind of happened. We were like, hey, let's get these huge dudes and these big creatures, but we'll give them guns instead of swords, and we'll see what happens, you know? And it worked out well.
Are there specific design principles that you hand down to them? Like, look, the characters, the weapons, everything has to fall within these design principles?
You know, we set up style guides. The overall description was the world is heavy. Gears is a heavy and brutal game. So everything we put on the characters was meant to convey that weight in the world. We had shoulder pads that flopped around. When they hit cover, they grunt and they slam into it and dust flies out, stuff like that.
Because it's the emotion of those guys. How hard is it to get the emotion across?
That's really hard. You know, an inanimate character, to get that emotion. In some aspects we did it well, some we didn't. And it all comes down to lighting and mood and facial animation and things like that. And we're getting better at it.